Hey everybody, I'm Justin Czar with bowhunting.com. Today we're here to take a look at the all-new Viper S400 from TenPoint Crossbows. Well, unless you guys have been living under a rock or maybe in a tree stand or a ground blind for the last couple weeks, you probably know that the folks over at TenPoint Crossbows released an all-new line of bows at this year's ATA show that are packed full of a lot of really awesome features. And the Viper S400 is one of those new bows. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to run you through all the new features on this particular bow, show you what they are, kind of how they work, and why they're beneficial to you as a shooter. The first feature we're going to talk about is the new AccuSlide cocking and decocking mechanism. This is by far the biggest advancement on these new bows from TenPoint for this year. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. It's very simple, but it's also very safe and really pretty cool. So what you're going to see here is, just like the old bows, we've got a lever that's mounted in the stock down here. Now what you are going to notice is they changed this up a little bit this year, so this fits in here a little bit tighter than they have in the past, so you don't have to worry about them maybe coming loose, wearing out, falling out as you're stalking around the woods. So when you get ready to cock this bow for the first time, you're going to pull the lever out. You're going to notice that the end is actually keyed this time. So you've got a keyed end that's going to fit right here. It's going to snap in there. And it's actually going to be solid in there. You can't pull it out without actually depressing this button to pull it out when you're done. So you're going to put it right in there. And now what you're going to do, so when the bow is already the trigger position is back, and we need to cock this bow back. So what you're going to do is you are simply going to start unwinding this to take the pressure off of this trigger box. And what you're going to do is you're going to see there's a little lever right here. You're going to press on that lever, and it's actually going to release the trigger box. So you're going to release it out, and you're going to be able to slide this whole trigger box forward. Once you hear it clip into there, you're done, and at that point you can start winding back. Now what you guys are going to notice, or maybe not notice, is that it is completely silent, right? A lot of bows, when you crank them back, they make a clicking noise as you come back. This is completely silent, which is great for hunting application. But also important on this device, as you can see, I can let it go. This bow is halfway cocked back. I can completely let go of this cocking mechanism, and it does not move. If at this point I decide I want to let this bow down and I don't want to actually cock it back, all I got to do is reverse the other direction and let it down. It's literally that simple. You're also going to notice that on this lever here, you may have seen it, it actually extends out, so it goes from a short position to a longer position. When you extend it out longer, it's going to give you a little bit more leverage and actually make it easier to crank this bow back. So depending on what kind of situation you're in, if you're in a tree stand or a ground blind or somewhere where you can't afford a lot of movement, a lot of tight spaces, you can keep it collapsed down like that and just come back with it, or you can pull it out, give you a little bit more leverage. So now at this point, we're going to draw this bow all the way back. You can see the entire trigger box is moving back, and you're going to hear it latch into place. Once it is latched into place, this bow is ready to load and fire. So we're going to go ahead and remove the cocking crank. So you're going to remove this. You would typically put it back in the stock of the bow, and at this point, like I said, you're ready to load and go shoot. Now at the end of your hunt, the end of the night, let's say you did not fire an arrow, all you got to do is put your crank back in. You're going to put a little bit of pressure on the crank, not too much, and then you're going to flip that same latch forward. You're going to see this latch right here. There's a latch on either side. So you're going to put a little bit of pressure on the trigger box. You're going to latch that forward, and then you're going to start coming down with it, just like that. And you're able to decock this bow completely silently. And again, if you're decocking the bow and all of a sudden you look up, oh shoot, there's a deer coming, all you got to do is let it go. It's not going to move. Then you can either cock back or continue your decocking process. Now at the end of the night, you can actually just leave your trigger box right attached to the string. There's really no need to delatch it and cock it all the way back. That way the next time you go out, all you got to do is cock this bow back. Now if you did want to remove it for some reason, all you got to do is hit the little dry fire inhibitor right here, and you can slide it right back. Also new on the TenPoint Crossbows is a redesigned barrel system called the AccuTrack barrel. And what TenPoint has done is they've gone in, they've machined out a lot of the surface area of the barrel itself to really help increase your string life and reduce the wear on your string. So on some of the older crossbows, you were lucky to get 400 or 500 shots before you needed to either replace your string or replace your serving, just simply due to the wear caused by the barrel. Now, with the new AccuTrack barrel system, because they've removed a lot of that material, you've got far less contact in there, which is extended string life all the way out to like 1,300 shots before you need to worry about replacing your string or your serving. So we've doubled, almost tripled string life with the new barrel design. One other thing that TenPoint has done new for this year is a new trigger system. So this is going to be the S1 trigger. This is a dual stage trigger system with a 3.5 pound pole set at the factory. It is very crisp and very clean braking. I feel like with crossbows, the triggers are one of those things that on some of the older models were just always kind of left a lot to be desired, especially if you come from the firearm industry. You know what a good trigger pull feels like, and I'll tell you that the S1 trigger is the best trigger yet from the folks over at TenPoint. Again, it's a two-stage trigger system. It's 3.5 pounds pull and is very crisp braking trigger. So that really just helps with your accuracy and that repeatability every time that you shoot. So that is also a new feature for this year. If you guys have noticed, they've redesigned their stocks for this year. So we've got a new stock. They were able to trim about, a half a pound off of this bow, which weighs 7.5 pounds, thanks to the new stock design. What we're seeing here is a new camo pattern for this year. This is the Veil camo. This particular bow is also available in graphite, which is kind of a gray, solid gray color. I personally think it looks really, really cool. So that's pretty much all the features on the new Viper S400. For this year. Like I said, there's a couple other bows in the line that all have a lot of the same features. They're going to have your AccuSlide cocking, decocking, your AccuTrack, a lot of the same features that this bow has, just in a little bit different configuration. So if you're in the market for a new crossbow, make sure you give this one a look. It's going to retail between $1,550 and $1,650, depending on the camo pattern that you want. It includes this TenPoint Rangemaster scope with a lighted reticle in it. Also includes a quiver and 3 center punch arrows as well. So if you guys are in the market for a new bow, make sure you check out some of the new stuff from TenPoint Crossbows this year. Their website is tenpointcrossbows.com.